Y'all need a pilot? Josh Hartnett returns after his stellar performance in Trap, a movie I absolutely hated, for Fight or Flight. An R-rated hour and 40-minute action-packed extravaganza. Think Bullet Train, but in the air. You could call it Bullet Plane. I just came out. Subscribe for witty observational humor that's not here, but subscribe here too. Anyway, let's talk about Fight or Flight. If you watched Bullet Train and thought to yourself, man, I really enjoy this film, but I wish the budget was slashed by like 95%. Well, then you have Fight or Flight. Because it's basically the same movie done in a much worse way across the board. Worse action, a terrible story, a lead that's not near as enjoyable as Brad Pitt's character, and some of the most calm and collect passengers I've ever seen in my life. Now, before I get any further into this review, if you find yourself enjoying the commentary, please think of liking and subscribing to the channel. I post lots of movie reviews every week, movie rants, roasts, live streams, all things movies all the time. I'd love to have you stick around. All right, I'm going to go spoiler-free for most of this, and then I might dip my toe into spoilers later. I will give you a warning ahead of time. The premise is incredibly simple. The CIA has picked up on Ghost, a mysterious figure who is very dangerous and highly sought after. And this Ghost character has been almost impossible to find. They don't even know what the person looks like, the gender, the race, anything. But they do have one secret weapon. A washed out CIA agent who's been on the run from the government for 2 years. Currently blackout drunk off his ass somewhere in Bangkok. And Katie Sackhoff has his number. She gives him a ring and says, I need you to get back to work. And if he does this for her, she'll give him a get out of jail free card, wipe his slate clean, get him back into the service, and he can live out a fulfilling life. All he has to do, hop on a plane, capture Ghost alive, and take on a couple dozen bad guys. Because as it turns out, it's not only the Americans interested in stopping Ghost, it's evil bad guys from all over the world, and they are all on this plane. A plane that manages to somehow be both the largest one in existence and also one of the smallest. It's quite remarkable. I say this because as the movie plays out, there is going to be a lot of lavish, loud, high-octane action sequences that people just a cabin over, I'm talking a curtain pull away, will be completely unaware of. Every regular passenger on this plane, which I think consists of about 10, are NPCs, non-playable characters. They rarely react to anything going on, and as soon as a scene is done playing out, they just sit there calmly again like nothing happened. It is really bizarre. As far as the action goes in this movie, there is a good amount. It takes a while to build to it, but once we get there, it ranges. Josh Hartnett is good at keeping up. They do a good job masking when he has a stunt double. There is some ridiculous, pretty bloody action sequences. None of it feels real. It looks like you're watching a cartoon, a video game play out. And for many people, that's gonna be enough. I've seen a lot of this shit now. Just having a bunch of dumb action is not enough to sustain my interest anymore. I have to have something a little bit more promising. I unfortunately back-to-back this with A Clown in the Cornfield, and I had the same reaction to that one. Just an exhaustive yawn. All right, what else do you have? Do we have anything new or fresh to bring to the table? Or is it well made enough with likable, interesting characters that can carry it over the finish line? No? Oh, all right, well, fuck me then, I guess. I wasted half a day watching these. I am going to keep comparing this to Bullet Train because it really does feel like a bad attempt at recreating that film just on a plane instead. Also with the humor, the pacing of the jokes never lands. The way people respond to each other, the punchlines of the jokes, the timing is just not correct. People sit way too long. They react to things in a delayed manner. There are awkward pauses in between speeches. It just does not flow great. I mentioned it's a low budget. I believe it's estimated to be around $10 to $15 million to make, which that's fine. But we're talking about a movie taking place on an airplane where crazy stuff is gonna happen. With a budget that small, there's gonna be a lot of corner cutting, and you can definitely see it, especially when he goes to the airport, or he gets on the plane, there are very few extras in the backgrounds of these places. There are virtually no establishing shots to any of this. I don't really think you see the outside of the plane more than 2 times in the entire film. It's insane. And again, as far as the layout of the plane is concerned, it was hard knowing where things were located. It felt like they were in a building more than they were on a moving vessel in the sky. One-liners almost never worked. The zany villains they bring into this are just cringy as shit. Later, I guess I'm gonna kind of go into mild spoilers. I'm not gonna give away everything, but there's really nothing, nothing to spoil, I suppose, instead of your afternoon if you went to this movie. But later we find out who Ghost is and who is protecting this person. And it's this trio of martial arts ladies who are wearing these ceremonial robes or something. They look ridiculous. They look like they're going to a MegaCon convention dressed as really poor members of Shang-Chi. It's bad. And they're the only ones wearing these. They look stupid. It's just silly. It's really silly. At another point, Josh Hartnett's character, Lucas, gets drugged and he's tripping balls. And they try to do this face dysmorphia stuff, and they get all the Technicolor things, and not working. Fight or Flight feels like the type of movie that should have gone straight to streaming, but they're gonna crap this into theaters for a week, see if it can make its money back, and then we'll shit it out to Netflix 3 months down the road. A month down the road. If this movie came out in the 90s, it would be a straight to VHS release. I would never have watched it. I would never even heard of it. I might see it on the bottom shelf of a rental store under new releases and go, oh, Josh Hartnett's in this? That's odd. That's strange. No thanks. There are really only 2 main locations in this film. There is the plane stuff, and then there's the stuff back at the CIA headquarters or whatever this place is. They don't have any lights. They really must have blew the budget on the plane interior because the ground game is very dark. There's not a light to be seen inside of this place. Katie Sackhoff is just standing in a room with 2 other dipshits, and she just has these lame conversations, and she's checking in on the phone, texting with Lucas. Every time they go back to this building, it is so boring to look at. They try to put in 4 or 5 background characters, and I laugh my ass off every time they did this. There would be Katie Sackhoff and 1 or 2 other people. Katie Sackhoff, by the way, I usually really enjoy her. Not good here. It looks like she's phoning it in. I don't know. I don't like this character at all. But she'll be talking to people, and in the background, there'll be a guy just kind of like arbitrarily walking, like he's getting commands from Dr. Evil and Austin Powers, just walking back and forth. There was a really funny shot I noticed later in the movie where Josh Hartnett's sitting down, he's eating some cookies, and in the background you see the girls kind of just moving around, like doing shit, and all you see though is like a tiny bit of their back and their butt, and it's not like a hot looking shot, it's just poorly framed, and they're barely in there. Bad. I don't know what they're doing with this movie, if they ran out of time and they just had to quickly like whip stuff together. But yeah, things are not framed up the best. Color grading is also an issue. I found the movie to be very flat looking. There's not a lot of detail in this. There's not a lot of color that pops. It's just, it looks like it was not treated very well, if at all. Like it's the raw camera footage they went with. Keep that budget down. So to summarize, you get some zany action, but it's a lot of been there, done that a million times before. We've had 4 John Wick movies. We got Ballerina coming out. We had Nobody. There's a Nobody 2 sequel. There's Atomic Blonde. There was Monkey Man. There are a ton of these action movies that fit in that same kind of mold. Fight or Flight just does it a lot worse with a very lame story on top of it. For me, I would say save your money, watch it when it comes home to streaming. That way you're kind of getting it for free. You know, you're only paying for your plan on that different app. Otherwise, yeah, not worth it. Not worth the trip. If you're looking for a substitute, just watch one of the movies I brought up a second ago. I listed like 7 or 8 of them. Or Bullet Train. Bullet Train I thought was great too. Little long, but overall a fun time. All right, let me know your thoughts below. Leave a comment. Please, again, think of subscribing to the channel, liking this video if you liked it, share it, tell a friend or 2. I want to keep this channel moving strong, and the best way to pump it up is word of mouth. So tell your friends, maybe think about becoming a YouTube Join member or patron at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Hopefully, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. that's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews, there's a vlog monthly, and even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge.